And just like that, Tottenham Hotspur are back. It seems like it was so long ago, that game against Everton, but it feels like also that time has just flown by. And I've never been more ready for a Premier League season. First off, I just want to apologise. I didn't even make a video for the Everton game. I was on a family holiday, and the family holiday was, well, the game was like the first weekend we were away. So by the time I got home and was back to my sort of equipment, you know, we were all just buzzing that we'd stayed up, and I didn't really feel like I could add too much to the conversation. I did plan on making videos around England during the World Cup, but I was in America seeing my girlfriend, so I do apologise for the lack of videos. But this year, we are going to be consistent. We are going to be every single game, regardless of its importance. We will be there. There will be a match review up the very next day, every single game. If you like the sound of that, if you want to listen to me talk about Tottenham, please subscribe. It would really help me out. We're getting close to 400 subscribers, which, in the grand scheme of things, pretty small number. But imagine 400 people in this room watching me. Would be a bit strange, wouldn't it? So if you could hit that subscribe, maybe like the video, I'd really appreciate it. And my God, what a summer it has been for Tottenham. Who are these new owners? What is this newfound ambition? We actually have money to spend. Who would have thought it? Now, I know we've upset, the apple cart with everyone moaning about how much money we've spent, but they do also choose to ignore the sales that we've made. First off, I want to talk about Sandro Tonali and Matheus Fernandes, because them two for me are the biggest indications that this Tottenham board are serious. Now, in years gone by, and let's say Tottenham were going for a player that Man United wanted, normally everything would be going fine until it got to the wages, and then we'd be gazumped. We would be stingy, we wouldn't pay, and we would then have to look elsewhere for our B option. Now, for once, in this instance, Man United missed out on Fernandes. We signed him, and they had to find their B option in Andre Santos. Now, no disrespect to Andre Santos, calling him a B player, but he is their B option. I don't think anyone can really dispute that. Just that one signing alone, and refusing to be beaten by another team just because of wages, is just such a massive difference to what we've seen from Tottenham. Because we have a list as long as your arm of players that were interested in us, but then we couldn't give them the wages. So the fact that we were able to go toe-to-toe with a team like Man United and, secure the players signing is such a huge indication for this new board's direction, and the fact they realise that if you want to win things, you do actually have to spend money. So to the board, regardless if we get Marmoush, I still think this has been an absolutely fantastic window. When you consider the likes of Fernandes, Tonali, Van Hecke, Robertson, you've got Dubravka in there as well. Savinho looks like he's coming. And you've got Marcus Senesi in there on a free as well. Now, don't get me wrong, because we started with Robertson and Senesi on frees, at the time I was a little bit subdued just because I'd seen this script before with Tottenham when it comes to, we get the free transfers in and then that's our business done. But the fact that we then went on to spend the money that we have, if you consider, 200 odd million on just Tonali, Fernandes and Van Hecke alone, obviously if you now include Savinho, the freebies that we picked up are really, really nice additions on top of that. So this window, so far, credit to the board. I really, really pray we can get Marmoush done, because Marmoush is a player that proper excites me for one reason and for one reason only. He can absolutely twat a ball. Do you know what I mean? Excuse the language, I'm sorry. We can't be swearing this early on into the season. But he can just absolutely blast the ball, and we don't have many players who want to shoot from outside the box, or it seems like we haven't from the last few years. So getting someone like Marmoush in, who, gets the ball outside the box and has no problem just absolutely battering it, I'm all for. So if we can get that business done as well, then I think we're in a really, really good spot this year. Now, I do want to briefly touch on some of the exits we've had. Guillermo Vicario is on loan to Juventus. For Vicario, he falls into the category, for me personally, as a player that wasn't good enough, but he understood the club. He wore his heart on his sleeve, and he knew what it meant to be one of us. You can tell, that he was really, really ingrained in the club, and I'll never sort of dislike him for that, because we've had too many players that weren't up to it who also didn't care. But Vicario, you can't say that. He played for a hernia injury, probably to his detriment, unfortunately. But the man put his body on the line. He broke his ankle against Man City. No one can ever, question his dedication to this team. So for that, I'll always be grateful for Vicario. Romero, one of my favourite players over the last few years. I know a lot of Tottenham fans have, severed their ties with him. They've had enough. They're glad to see the back of him. But unfortunately, the undeniable fact is we were a better team with him in it. You can't, unfortunately, say otherwise, because he was our best defender for the last few years and one of our most important players. I'm glad he got his move to Atletico Madrid. He was probably the most Atletico Madrid coded player you will ever see. Like, in your life, never has a player fit a club more. But again, Romero constantly called out the ball for better, wanted more for the fans. Again, wore his heart on his sleeve, maybe a bit too much. But I will always love Romero. I will look fondly back on Romero's time here and have a real sense of missed opportunity, because if we put a stable team around him, a good quality team around him, then I think he would have thrived. But unfortunately, there was too much transition. I think he had like 5 managers in his time here. So, it was probably the right time for all involved, but I wish him nothing but the best. Jed Spence, quickly, what an absolutely phenomenal World Cup he had. I was so buzzing. Bear in mind, the biggest question mark around the squad, it seemed pre-World Cup, was Jed Spence's inclusion. So the fact that he shut everyone up and managed to get moved to Inter Milan off the back of it was incredible. I would have kept him, but unfortunately with Pedro Porro, he's not going to start every game. He's 26. He deserves to be starting every game. But again, Jed Spence, what a story. We were going to sell him for, I think, like 7 million to Genoa or Rennes like a couple of years ago. Turned it round, a key part of England's World Cup campaign. Now he's at Inter Milan. Fair play. And now we look to the season ahead. And I don't think I've been this excited for a Premier League season, in a long time. I said the same to one of my friends and he was like, typical Tottenham fan getting excited. But I don't think people realise when you finish 17th twice, there really is no other way but up. I'm not even entertaining the thought of it being worse. But anywhere from 17th is a plus. Now, if you include the business that we've done, the fact that we've only got 1 game a week, the fact that we're going to play more of De Zerbi's system, it's going to be more detailed, it's going to be more ingrained. There is no reason not to be excited for this season for Tottenham. Like, there really isn't, unfortunately, for the people who love to be negative about absolutely everything. Now, when I say I'm excited, again, I'm not saying we're going to win anything, I'm just looking forward to being excited about my team playing again. Again, people don't realise just how hard last year was to get through. Like, going into every game knowing you were going to lose. And if you weren't able to watch the game, I use Flash Score on my phone. Whenever someone scores, it pops up with big chance just before it. And it always is. And whenever, I wasn't able to watch the game, having to check on the updates, I was always just waiting for the other team to score. It was a really, really tough year as a football fan, and there's no other way to put it. So my excitement for this year is based on the fact that I don't think it's going to be as bad as that. Give me a 10th place. I'll take a 10th place. I don't mind. Now, I saw Tobes on TikTok do 5 things he wants to see from Chelsea this season. So I'm going to do 5 things I want to see from Tottenham. Now, this isn't like the treble or something like that. These are just sort of more specific things. The first off, I want someone to score over 15 goals for us. Last year, our lead scorer was Richarlison, who got 12 in all competitions. And then the next best was João Palhinha, Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero. Do you know what I mean? Your top 4 shouldn't be made up of 2 defenders. That is not how that should work. So if we can manage to get someone, preferably a striker or an attacking player, with over 15 goals, I'll be a very, very happy man. Second, don't get battered in both of the North London derbies, please. I'm not asking to win them. Like, that's a very, very unrealistic ask. But just don't get battered. Put up a fight, please, for the love of God. Third, and I hope this will come with the new improved defence, I want to see some more clean sheets. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw us win like a 2-0 or a 3-0. It felt like every win we got last year was like a 2-1 or like, it was scraped. So just some more comfortable wins to 0 would be fantastic, because we have a horrible habit of having a really good game and then conceding 1 in like the 89th minute, which just takes a real sparkle off it. Next, now with the exit of Christian Romero, I'm hoping the squad will get less red cards. Please, the best ability is availability, so we need everyone to keep their heads. Let De Zerbi get fired up, but the rest of you on the pitch, please just manage it. Now for the 5th one, this one's a little bit more obvious, but I want us to have as little injuries as possible. I want a Maddison year. He deserves a year. He's had a full preseason, hasn't played too much, but I just want to see him back to his best, as I do the rest of the injured players. Udogie, things like that. I want to see the best of our team. So with 1 game a week, with proper rest, hopefully that can be achieved. But I'm going to wrap up this video here. I've spoken enough, but, you know, just a little one to get us back in the swing of things. I'll record a video tomorrow after the Brentford game. Hopefully we have some good news. But if you can do me a favour, drop in the comments, you know, your hot takes for the season, who you're looking forward to seeing, who you think is going to be our standout player, things like that. Just give me a comment. Let me know what you're excited for this season. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow after 3 points. Up the Spurs.